When you speak of social emotional learning factors, if you go down the list and as you study those social emotional learning factors, most people will find out that you dealt or you struggle with some of those factors regardless of what your background in life, where you had some of those same experiences. Maybe not as many as some of the kids that you'll work with, but you shared in some of those. So as you open up and the kids begin to understand that this is not something that I'm just dealing with, this is not new to me. These social emotional learning factors have been here, and how do I deal with them? And now that I see that I have a caring adult that has been through some of these same social emotional learning factors, here stand I, ready and able to deal with some of these same things just as well. So one of the great points is adults have to deal with social emotional learning as well and understand that it's okay that you went through what you went through. Now let's help somebody else get through it as well. Some of the immediate differences that we see once a kid starts going through the process, the light bulb goes off, because once they get turned on to living, and as we like to say, the process takes them through what we call the 3 E's. First, we expose them, give them the experience, and now they get turned on to education. It's like the old adage or the old saying, you say you can't put the cart before the horse. In the past, we've always been pushing education, trying to get a kid to like education as opposed to getting them to like, why am I getting that education? So what the process does, get them turned on to this whole process of understanding of what's this education for and how do I connect this education to the rest of my life. So once we make that connection, once we get the kid to understand this is why you come to class every day, so I don't cut class, so I don't interrupt class. I understand the importance of math and science. I understand why my writing skills should be so well, because it's a building block. And once they understand the process, you reduce discipline referrals, you reduce tardiness, you reduce any other behavior infractions, because now students come to school not just for socialization, because they're going to do that anyway. They can't help it. They're around all of their friends. But they also know that when it's time to go to class, it's time to go to class, because my future depends on my success in class. So once you make that connection, I think that's the light bulb. That's the moment for us. Well, when people ask, how does this help control the learning environment or control the culture and climate in the school? If you get the kids to understanding why they're there, you're not the sole source for running them off the halls or making them go to class, but they're guided and they're self-directed. That becomes to be the goal, or that becomes to be the successes from seeing people work through the basically change process. It's an aha moment, the ease of the conversation when you get past just talking with a young person, because I'm really, really not interested in how much you know. I'm really interested in how much you care for me. Once I find out that you can have the conversation, you care about what I want to do the rest of my life, I would practically do anything. Your curriculum, I would do it just because I like you, not because you're forcing it down my throat. So once a parent or a kid, or not a kid, but a teacher or just any adult in that kid's life, once they get this conversation with that young person, they say, well, we're beyond you just telling me what to do all the time. You're truly, genuinely concerned about what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, and you're also giving me a pathway to do it. So the aha moment for the adult becomes the ease of the conversation, and also how much they can find out what a young person is really passionate about doing. It may not be what you thought they wanted to do, but you identify what their passion is, and now your job as an adult is to guide them through, how do I make this passion my purpose, and how do I make this my life fulfill goals. So having that tool as an adult to move beyond those barriers of not knowing how to have that conversation, I think that's the biggest aha moment, especially for those adults that feel really, really uncomfortable about asking people about their background and sharing their background and their history, and just knowing about who that young person is, not just as a student, but also as the person that they're trying to work with and move them to the next phase of their life.